Hi, this is Jason Fielder with the Daily Forex Report for August 24th. Taking a look at the US-Japanese yen pair. This pair moved higher, much higher during Friday's session. It did not make a new low, as you can see here. It's pretty much moving within a range. It did break out of that range to the downside to some degree here on a shorter time frame, but if you look at this time frame, past couple of weeks, it's pretty much been moving sideways. We did have some action that really drove down, but it's pulled back both times, or all three, these past three times. Now, what I'm looking for during this next session is a range between 110.42 and on the lower side 108.03. As far as support and resistance come into this market, looking for some resistance around 110.52, a little bit higher than here around this point, and then on the lower side looking for some support to come into the market at 109.24. So definitely keep an eye on that level going into this next session. I do believe the bias is to the basically flat, the market's going sideways, and it is definitely moving sideways for this particular session. Now, looking at the Euro-USD pair, this pair is pretty much moving sideways as well. Friday it came down, made a new high, but then went lower. We're pretty much trading within a trading range here. Good time to do some counter trend trading if you have a good system. Now, looking at the range for this next session, looking for 1.4942 and on the lower end 147.18. As far as where I'm looking for the market to run into some resistance on the higher side, if it moves higher, would be 1.5000, and on the lower end 1.4700, which is just a hair lower than our range. Now, looking for the pound, looking at the pound, we have this pair moved down lower, ran into some support, basically previous support, and held there. Now, if we get a break of that support, we could see it go much lower than where it is right now. I am looking for the range to be between 188.28 and on the lower side around 184.57. Now, this may be a little close. Probably will run into some resistance or some support there at that point if it goes lower. If we get a break below the 1.8400 level, we could see it really just move down. Now, if we take a look at previous chart, I may need to zoom out to the weekly time frame. We can take a look at what this could potentially mean for the pound US dollar pair if it decides to move lower. Let's go ahead and put a trend line there. That's at 0.4090, and let's back out here, take a look. Really, it moved higher without much resistance up to this point previously. Let's put a trend line there. So around the 1.9000 level, but we still have this area. So if we get a break below where we are currently, if we can get a break below the 1.8400 level, we could see it move fairly quickly to over the next couple of weeks down to this level, which would be the 1.8105. Another area that we can look at would be this level. Hang on one second, let me get to it. There we go. Let's go back to the day time frame and kind of look at this. Look at some of these levels here. Okay, if we get a break below, I guess the 1.8500 level, then look for it to move lower down to the 1.8376 level fairly quick. Just zip on down here. probably putting some, if you wanted to put a stop loss here, which previous support turns into resistance. If it moves down, it may pull back up, but most likely not above this area of previous support, which would now be resistance level. If we get a break below here, it could just go on down. Now that's talking in several sessions time frame, maybe as much as a week or two. Now looking over at the US Swiss, let's zoom in here. Our area, our window of opportunity was not filled. If you recall from previous video, we were looking for basically a break between these two levels from here to here, about a 100 pip move, because previously we saw that it just zipped through that level once broken. It was not broken. The market is moving sideways, and so it moved lower and then pulled back. We still have potential for that diamond formation to occur. We really need to see it form the rest of it before we could determine, okay, this is something we're actually going to look to trade. But definitely keep that in mind moving forward. Now we have a range between 1.1033 on the high side, on the lower side 1.0822. Now I'm looking for some support to come into the market a little bit higher than this at 1.0850, and on the high side looking for resistance actually to come in a little bit closer to than our range at 1.1. So that's definitely the area I believe will hit some resistance. If it breaks through that, we could go higher, but I believe we're moving sideways in most of the pairs, and probably will do so until next month, until we start getting some new U.S. figures, unemployment figures, and all that. I could be wrong, but we'll just have to wait and see on that one. Now we do have some news announcements tomorrow. We have one that's of real importance in the New Zealand dollar, and it has their trade balance for July being released at 6:45 p.m. No real consensus given on this, but the trade balance can move the market. So if you're going to take a look at this one, I'd suggest looking at the New Zealand dollar versus the U.S. pair, and also the New Zealand yen pair. So if we see weakness in the yen and we get a good trade balance report for the New Zealand dollar, we could see it rally. It has been going down, but we could see it move higher. Well, this is Jason Fielder. Until next time, good trading.